Good evening, ma'am.
Right, okay. I think others are yet to join. No? Others are yet to join, it seems. Only 3 of you are there. No? We'll give them a few seconds, right? 1 or 2 minutes, if not. Okay, only very few have joined now. Hello, can we be waiting?
Yes, ma'am. We'll see, ma'am. Others will join.
Yeah, only 4 of you are there, no?
Yes,
We'll
ma'am.
see. You are aware, no, that today you are having the lecture kill?
Yeah, ma'am. We know. As we scheduled, today is the day.
All right, okay. Last time we couldn't do, no? And today is our last day of lecturing, huh?
Yeah, ma'am.
We'll wait for others also 2-3 minutes, no? How is your new job, Chanda?
Ma'am, it's very nice and I'm doing fine everything.
Okay. Interesting, no?
Yeah, ma'am. Really very interesting.
What are the grades you are doing?
Ma'am, grade 3, 4, 5, 6, 9.
5 grades.
Yeah, 5 grades.
You're supposed to write lesson plans and all that.
Yeah, ma'am. We have to write.
Mm.
And in our province, scheduled lesson plans are given. So we use them and complete.
Scheduled one can already prepared
Yeah.
by somebody.
Yeah, prepared.
Who
Yeah,
gives
ma'am.
that? It is a school law.
It is prepared by the Zonal
Ah,
Education Office. Yeah, ma'am.
very good, no?
Yeah, ma'am. It's very easy.
Okay. It's 7:37 now. We can start anyway. Last time, actually, we started doing our lesson plan presentations. Am I right? Is it so? But we could not actually do that. So you are supposed to talk about your lessons. And then because it's a preparation for the presentation next time, your speaking presentation. So am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm. So who is going first? Because it's good to discuss, because your second assignment is a presentation, and you have to actually prepare a lesson plan on your own, and then you have to actually talk about your lesson plan, how you are going to conduct this lesson, providing the rationale for planning your lesson, like that. Okay, that is going to be that is out of 100, this presentation. Give me a second. Hello? Am I not connected?
Ma'am, you are connected. Yeah, we can hear.
Right.
I can hear, but I don't know what I say.
Right. Okay. Now, because of that, I think you all have your lesson plans. You did it in groups and you all are going to present it. So I'm supposed to give you feedback. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I right or I'm wrong? When you're silent, I feel like, no, it's something else, Kela.
Yes, ma'am. Today we have to present.
You have to know. Right. So can I get one of your groups to actually present your lesson plan? Then we can think of ways of upgrading it, no, and make it fine tuning and all that. So who is that?
We prepared English lesson plan, madam.
Yeah. So are you ready to share it and present?
Okay, the group members are Channa, me, and Salma.
Yeah. So can you share? Do I have to make you a co-host who is actually sharing the document?
Ma'am, I will share. I think I can share without
All
giving
right.
code. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Ma'am,
It's from the phone, right?
yeah, on the phone, ma'am. Yeah. Ma'am, is it visible for others?
Yeah, it's okay. We can't read the actually exact thing that you have written because it's in very small print. There's no way of actually making it bigger, no?
Yeah, ma'am, no way,
No,
but if
it's
there is
okay.
a
You
lab.
can read. You can read. It's
Okay,
okay, Putta.
okay, ma'am.
We can zoom it.
You can zoom it.
Yeah.
So who
You
can?
can.
I can zoom it then.
Yes, yourself you can zoom, ma'am.
I don't see that option is available, Kiela.
Now just zoom it. Zoom. Keep your fingers in your screen and zoom it.
No, can't. This is from the phone. No?
Yeah, ma'am, if need, I can send it, send my file to you. Then I think you can share. Then I
So
think
I can
everybody
share,
can.
no?
Yeah,
You
everybody
are
can
using
see.
the laptop, ma'am.
So, ma'am, 1 second, I will share to you. Then give to you. You can share it.
Okay.
Oh, shall I share it to madam?
Yeah, Salma, please share it to madam. Then it's very easy. Madam will share.
Okay.
Right. Okay, now I think it's being shared. Okay. Right. Y'all can see now, y'all can start talking about it.
Yeah, ma'am. Good evening, everybody. Dear ma'am and my dear friends. Today we are going to present our lesson plan. In our lesson plan, we have selected subject as English language, and we have selected grade 8A, and allocated time for this subject is 40 minutes. And lesson 7, competency level 6, uses English for the purpose of accurate and effective communication. Competency level 6.1, construct simple sentences. Here we have integrated skills, listening, writing, speaking and writing. Learning teaching materials are, we provide activity sheet, passive voice sentences under Annex 1, and word strips. We write some word strip and we provide them. And we use textbook activity, fill in the blanks, is in Annex 2A. Workbook activity is also used. In that, students have to convert given sentences into passive voice. And we provide activity sheet to make a poster. Here we have covered all domains, all three domains. Dilini, can you further describe about this?
Yeah, sure. I can read specific objectives. At the end of the lesson, student will be able to identify the difference between active voice, passive voice sentences, active voice and passive voice sentences, construct sentences using passive voice past tense. Then third one, accept the importance of passive voice. Then number 4, get opportunities to use the language through communicative activities. Then last one, get them to prepare a poster about a given topic. Then we are moved to a learning teaching process. As the stage 1, we give that for 5 minutes. In that stage, the teacher provides word strips to students and gets volunteers to arrange them in order. After that, students should read the sentences they have construct to the class. They have to present to the class. The discussion box. The teacher leads a discussion on the formation of simple past in passive voice. The rule is was verb plus past participle of the verb. And those are the expected answers for the Annex 1. The road was closed by police. The lesson was taught by teacher. The picture was drawn by Kasun. The letters were delivered by postman. Students were appreciated by principal. Then stage 2. We have to give 20 minutes for the stage 2. I think Salma can read stage 2.
Yeah, in the stage 2, it will be for 20 minutes. The teacher gets students to form groups, then get students to do activity and complete the sentences, which is in Annex 2, 2A. Get students to present their answers to the class. Next, get students to do activities, convert the active voice sentences into passive voice. Annex 2. It's in Annex 2. And next, get students to present their answers. And in the discussion box, the teacher leads a discussion on appropriate construction sentences in simple present tense in passive form. Further, I have to discuss on converting active voice sentences into passive voice sentences. And the expected answers for the Annex 2A will be was painted, were given, was awarded, were celebrated, were taken. And in 2B, a vase was broken by my little brother. Second one, Ruin was bitten by a dog last week. Third one, the bus was repaired by the mechanic yesterday. Fourth one, the table was set by me. Fifth one, all the goods were sold by us. And in stage 3, the teacher instructs students to watch a video and make a poster on a past event. Further, the teacher will provide topics like, for example, Vesak Festival, New Year, Independence Day celebration, Ramazan Festival. So any suitable answer will be accepted. And the assessment criteria will be identifying the difference between active voice and passive voice sentences, then construct sentences using passive voice to past tense. And the questions are given below: Annex 1, Annex 2,
Okay.
Channa.
Yeah, ma'am. Here we have mentioned all the activities which we have mentioned below above.
No,
That is
can
how
I
we.
actually stop you for a while? Can you all speak a little bit louder? I'm very
Yeah, ma'am.
sorry. Yeah, very difficult to follow. Yeah. Start. Go ahead.
Yeah, ma'am. These are the answers and the exercises that we expected to do, and we mentioned at the beginning of our lesson plan.
Yeah.
So that is our lesson plan, ma'am.
Yeah, actually very good. All the three of you presented it nicely, and hopefully that it's good teamwork by the three of you. Channa, who are the other two?
Salma
Channa?
and Dilini.
Salma and
Ma'am, Dilini.
Dilini.
Yeah, ma'am.
Salma and Dilini. Okay. Now here, it's good. Actually, overall, it's really good. I will not talk about what is good, but I will talk about where you need to improve. Is it okay?
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Yeah. So all the first ones are really good. You have done it very well. And then, learning teaching materials when you write next time, activity sheet, passive voice sentences, Annex 1A. Actually, the activities sheet 1 is rearrange words and form passive sentences. Then what this activity is about is actually there in the title. Am I right?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
You give a title like that. Then in the second one, word strips. What is the word strips used for? 1B. Ko 1B එකක් නෑනේ. 1A and 1B.
Yes, ma'am.
They're same thing, no?
Yeah, ma'am.
So then you have to actually bring out the nature of the activity through the title given. So the next one, textbook activity, fill in the blank, Annex 2A. Rather than telling textbook activity, fill in the blanks, කියලා දාලා, Annex 2A, you don't have to say fill in the blanks, right? You can say it's all right to say fill in the blanks, but title can be given. What is it all about? It's about actually filling the blanks with the passive verb. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that should come up. Okay.
Ah.
So convert given sentences into passive voice, correct?
Okay, ma'am.
Right? Activity sheet, make a poster, annex 3. I don't see any activity like that. Is there an activity 3 here? No. So activity 3, I really don't know. Make a poster name.
That is
It's
Yeah, ma'am.
there's a kind of a
There was a mistake.
mistake here, na?
Yeah, we missed that. Yeah, ma'am. We
Yeah, so that is
plan
I
to-
want to highlight it. So now you know it.
Thank
Okay,
you so
next
much.
time when you're doing it for your assignment, you know.
Uh-huh.
Right,
Yeah,
very
ma'am.
good. That is okay. Then we'll come to specific objectives. At the end of the lesson, students will be able to, the STEM is perfectly yes. Identify the difference between active voice and passive voice. Construct sentences using passive voice. Accept the importance of passive voice. කියන එකට වැඩිය, you can say actually ඒක එතර affective domain එකකට එච්චර දෙයක් නෑ නේද? It's knowledge related. I tell you, accept the importance of passive voice. It's knowledge related. Because of that, we don't say it like that. Actually, what they will actually, you can say that they will work in groups, no? So work in groups enthusiastically for the affective domain. And you can actually make it, I will come to you that you have not made it thematic. Now, if you take that if clauses I did, I have made it a theme, relationship. Likewise, you all don't have to give sentences in isolation. So in your activity, now if you look at these sentences, Puta, answers, the road was closed, the lesson was taught, the picture was drawn. These sentences are disconnected sentences. First sentence has nothing to do with the second sentence. So the grammar is not presented in context here. Right? Language is not presented in context. So always you have to present language in context. So if you really want to present language in context, you have to go by a theme. That theme may be that where you get the lesson from. So this is from which unit? And units have themes. Am I right?
Yeah, ma'am. Understand.
Yeah.
Understood.
So you have to make it thematic. And according to the theme, you can say accept the importance of what. And you can actually make another one if it is uses of trees. So it's about trees, the accept the importance of preserving nature. Like that. And at the same time, you get them to work in groups. It's a requirement now. So then you can say work enthusiastically in groups. If you look at teams, teachers, guides, they are there. Okay. So that is one thing I want to actually highlight. Then get opportunities to use the language through communicative activities. Now I clearly told you, this is actually wrong, Puta. Why? Always our specific objectives are SMART. SMART means A, action bound. So this you have to write what the students will be able to do at the end of the lesson. So at the end of the lesson, students will be able to, you can actually cut this part away. Use the language in communication. Am I right?
Yeah, ma'am. Okay, we have given
That
extra.
is how you have to write it.
Yeah.
Here also, you have to say the last one. The last one you have to say, let me take it up. Can you correct it now? At the end of the lesson, students will be able to
Use language communicated.
Yeah, the next one.
Uh,
Prepare a poster
prepare
about
post.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
on a given topic. Right. That given topic, right. Now, there's another clarification I need. As I understand that you are going to teach them simple past passive. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
So here, you have not actually said that until I come here. Identify the difference between active voice and passive voice sentences in simple past tense.
We
Okay.
could have mentioned that. Yeah.
Construct sentences using passive voice. Actually, it's also not past. Past keyword you have simple past,
Four
past,
tenses, yeah.
continuous past, perfect. You have to say it's simple past. Okay.
Simple past. Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. That of course you have to make it very specific.
Specific.
Right.
Yeah. If it is not, ma'am, yeah, it will go for other tenses. All the
Can you
past.
speak up with it?
Yeah, ma'am. Understood, ma'am. If it is not, it
Yeah.
goes for all the past tenses.
Yeah. You have to specifically what you're. Actually, if you are looking only at positives, you can say active voice and passive voice, simple past tense, positive here. You can say. Because
Okay,
you're
ma'am.
going to be making very specific because what you can do in 40 minutes, right?
Yeah, understood.
Yeah. Then next one, learning teaching process. Stage 5 minutes. This is the engagement activity. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am. Approach, engagement activity. Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you actually make it now the main purpose is recalling prior knowledge. So how do you actually recall prior knowledge related to simple past passive here? No, no, the engagement activity is to recall prior knowledge that is useful in discovering or doing or understanding today's lesson. So today's lesson is simple past passive. So is there any recalling prior knowledge that they already know it and it's useful in today's work? Is it there? I really
No,
don't know.
so we can't add this, yeah, ma'am, because they
Yeah.
don't have that prior knowledge.
Yeah, that is it. But they will use their common sense and actually reconstruct or rearrange words and make sentences. But I think you could have thought about a better one here. Maybe they know their active voice simple past already. Am I right?
Yeah, ma'am. Here there is one thing we couldn't mention. Uh, in the at the beginning of the lesson, there is a passage. In that passage, we can see some passive voice sentences. Uh, so we discussed. We read that passage, and they will get to know some sentence patterns. They don't know that that is passive voice, but they get familiar, and we thought they will do like that. But I think we should mention that. Then if you give, is that okay, ma'am? Because in that passage, there are about 13 or 14 passive voice sentences. Mm,
Yeah, now
yeah,
the passage is not there, no?
yeah, that's a mistake, ma'am. Yeah, big issue. Yeah, I understand. So this is not matching, ma'am. The way we try to start.
Ah. Now here, this is the first activity, no? It's wrong, no? Yeah. I
Yes, ma'am.
think you could have done it like this. If it is now, they know simple past, passive, active. Okay, I think there was a connection issue. Now you can hear me, right?
Yeah, now we can hear, ma'am.
Yeah. Now, think of actually making it very simple, but I really don't feel that this is the proper one here. I feel like that you could have given some simple past active voice sentences and to identify who the subject, what is the verb, and who's the doer, and what's the object, like that. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am. We could have added them.
Now,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
making them simple past passive, that means they have already done simple present passive also. So you have to actually, you can give them some simple past sentences and get them to identify what's the subject, what's the verb, what's the object, who's the doer. Because subject goes to the object position, object comes into the subject position, like that. No, that is what happens. And this is not new to them also, because it can be easily assumed that they have done simple present passive. So you could have started with that. Am I right?
yes, ma'am. Totally correct. We missed that.
Am I
Yeah.
right?
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Totally correct.
Yeah,
We
okay.
missed.
There's no leeway, but this seems to be not recalling prior knowledge. Okay.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
internet connection is not stable today, Appa.
yeah, ma'am.
And
We
then,
hardly we hear that.
yeah, then this activity, 20 minutes. Get students to form groups, very good, because always the exploration is group activity, right? So get the students to present and there.
Excuse
So I
me,
am
ma'am.
okay with activities, but I can actually suggest something more than this.
Excuse me,
Complete the
ma'am.
sentence voice. Yeah.
The screen is not sharing, ma'am.
Am I not sharing?
No, ma'am.
Yes, good sharing, ma'am. Yeah.
Let me. Now, I think there's a content made.
Not yet.
Now, okay, na?
Yeah.
Now, okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Now look at this, Puta. Activity 2A. Are you all listening?
Yeah.
Yeah. Complete the sentences in the passive voice is one thing. And here the second one, convert these active voice sentences into passive voice. Out of the two, which is the more difficult one?
Workbook 1, I think.
Second one, no?
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yeah, man.
Which one? Activity 3 or this activity 7.2, which is the more difficult one out of the two?
Activity 3.
Activity 3 is the easier one to take. Why? This is the difficult one. Why?
In second, ma'am. Third one, ma'am.
No. Hari, you're correct. No, you're correct there. I'm sorry. Because it's only writing the verb there, no?
Yeah.
They have to write only the
No,
verb.
they have to write the helping verb also, no, ma'am? There.
Yeah. So, Hari, right. You're correct there. I'm very sorry, I'm mistaken. Here, of course, they have to write the whole sentence in passive. Okay, I agree with you. I'm very sorry. Okay, that is correct. So I'm okay with the two activities. But now how do they explore this? Then මේගොල්ලන්ට explore කරලා කොහොමද ඒගොල්ලෝ දැනගන්නේ ඒක? This is how the verb is formed කියලා කොහොමද දැනගන්නේ? By doing this, by doing this activity 1, am I right? Hello?
Yeah, ma'am. By doing
Yeah, actually by doing the activity 1, they can. Because you actually discuss it, no?
yes,
Here,
teacher facilitate and
the
teacher
teacher
support.
leads the discussion on the formation of simple past passive. But this
Yes,
should not be the first activity then, am I right?
yes, ma'am.
What you could have done is, you could have thought about an engagement activity, a different one. And you can take this activity here, the stage 1 activity, as the exploration activity 1. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Then activity 2 and activity 3. There are 3 simple activities. That is okay. Now stage 3. Instruct students to watch a video and make a poster on a past event. Further, teacher will provide topics, Vesak, New Year, Independence. So where's the video link? That's the issue. You have to actually provide the link. If you want them to watch a kind of a video, you have to give them the link for the video. And now here, there are several topics now. So how can you give them same video?
No, ma'am, that is a mistake.
Yeah,
First, we
you can give
discussed
them
to
you
give
can,
a link
yeah.
to watch a video.
Sorry?
First, we discussed to give a link to watch a video to the students. After that, we change into make a post including a topic. I have to.
That is not very clear. So video is on what? What is this video about?
That is typed by mistake, madam.
No video.
No, ma'am, no.
All right. No video. You get them to make a post on a past event.
Yeah, that's
එතකොට
only.
poster එකේ මොනවද ඒකට past event එකෙන් කරන්න තියෙන්නේ? What's the connection that you can make to the simple past passive?
Ma'am, they can make some sentences. Example, if you take Vesak festival, Vesak lanterns are made.
You
Houses are
want them to write
decorated.
sentences also.
Sorry, ma'am.
You want them to write sentences on the in the poster.
No, but they can make how they what they did in the festival. Example, in the poster they can
Yeah,
show.
I agree with you. This is topics are correct, Puta. But
Yeah,
no
yeah.
need to get them to do a poster there.
Ma'am.
It seems a bit irrelevant. Okay.
Irrelevant, yeah.
So
We
you
need
can
it.
actually get them to give a kind of in groups. They can talk about 5 sentences on one of the topics in passive voice. Am I right?
Madam,
Am I right? Yeah.
we can give a work like this, no, ma'am. Preparing tea.
Yeah.
Talk about
Preparing
how to
tea.
prepare it. Yeah.
Is it simple past or simple present?
It's
that
simple
is
present, ma'am.
present.
Yeah,
It's
that can't be
process.
used.
It's simple present passive.
Yeah.
හැබැයි simple past එකට shock එකකට දෙන්න පුළුවන් passive. You
How they
celebrated.
have prepared the tea? කොහොමද?
That is a bit of an absurd one, no?
Yeah,
yeah.
but festival
How
can
you
be
put
used,
that?
ma'am.
There's no specific way of doing it for some specific thing. No?
Yeah.
You can give something like that. How you got ready for your birthday celebration? How you got ready for Amazon festival? How you got ready for the New Year? And talk about 5 sentences, passive voice. Talk about it using. That is possible. Now, how you prepared tea yesterday කියලා past tense දාන්නේ නැහැ නේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි කියන්නේ. You understand me, right?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah.
හැබැයි birthday celebration එකකට කොහමද ready වුනේ?
That
Yeah,
can be
it's
explained. Yeah, ma'am.
specific, no, the way of
Specific.
doing, so it's not common and all, right? So you can actually get them to talk about how actually these topics, Vesak festival, how I celebrated it, what I did using passive 5 sentences, or write or speak. That is okay, and doing a poster is actually a bit irrelevant, deviating from the exact thing that you want them to do. Am I right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, something like that, I feel. Now, getting them to do a kind of a presentation, speaking 5 sentences in front of class, is actually, you can take it as psychomotor, because
Yeah.
they come in front of the class and talk about it, and you can ask them quickly draw a picture and
Yeah.
show
That
it in the class and talk, right?
okay.
In their like sketches and all, that is okay. But still coming in front of the class and talking about how they got ready for this, that is, yes, I agree with you. And that is my comment on yours. So hopefully, so when you're doing it for your assignment, you will actually come up with a very complete, nice lesson plan, and you will explain it nicely. And all the activities as you have done here are very good. හැමදේම තියෙයි කියලා මං හිතනවා. This is a help for you. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am. It
Yeah,
was a big
sure.
help,
Yeah.
and we got to know a lot of things, ma'am.
Yeah. And the same now, what is prepared by the zonal office for you as lesson plans, are they of the same format?
Yes, ma'am. Same
Or
like
a
this.
different format?
Some, yeah, we don't
Right.
do
Because
at all
some
this.
actually private schools, they use
Uh-huh.
a very simple format and all that. That is also, I think, okay. But they use the same thing, no? Because NIE uses this no?
Yes,
In the teachers' guides and all that, this format is no?
yeah. Format is this, ma'am, but practically, I think teachers are not
I
doing this.
can't hear you, no, ma'am. Hi,
Yeah, ma'am. I don't, ma'am. I am talking my best, but I think there is a connection
at the
issue.
top of your voice.
Yeah.
You're talking. කමක් නෑ. හරි. I find it very difficult to follow every one of you. Don't know whether something wrong with mind කියලා, but I actually made it maximum 100.
Yeah, maybe,
But
ma'am,
ma'am, they can
connection
hear
problem.
Huh?
They can
We
hear.
can hear your voice well, ma'am, but
Yeah,
madam
from your
can't
end
hear.
only, it's difficult. No?
Yeah, maybe
Yeah, from
connection
your
issue,
end
ma'am.
only, it's difficult.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, then I think I explain one thing to be added, Puta. Right? Any lesson plan that is a new trend, because you all are now new people now. So you have to add before the annexures. Before the annexures, you have correctly put assessment criteria also. You have correctly put assessment criteria. I'm actually happy. After that, reflection. What is it? Reflection. So you have to add that criteria after this. Reflection. එතකොට අපි ඒකට reflection දෙකක් තියෙනවා. Reflection. First එක තමයි why you prepared this lesson plan like this. And then after completing the lesson with the students, you have to write the reflection. That is, how did it go? Right? Whether you could finish it on time, whether your activities were successful, whether your students' time allocation was okay, and all that. That part reflection should be actually added here. And first reflection you can write why you prepared your lesson plan like this. Maybe a small paragraph. Now you have rationale for planning this lesson like this. So you can write that. You get me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Right,
ma'am.
okay. Yeah. So that also you can add. So I think you have learned, you have done a lot. So what I highlighted was what is missing. So you can do it better next time. Okay. And always make use of videos and all that for your assignment, because there are readily available materials. They're very interesting and all that. So you can make use of them, right? So see the possibility of actually using those materials in your lessons. Your students will like it, because now it's a need classroom requirement that ICT is actually combined with each and every lesson. Okay, right. So it's overall a very good one. Clap for you all. Right. So how can I give you a clap? You said I have to go to
Reaction, ma'am.
reactions. Right. Okay. So I clap you. Are you
Thank you
getting
so much,
claps?
ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Right. Okay. So who is the next group? Who are there? Who is going to present next? Are you ready, or you're not presenting, or what? Tell me quickly.
Madam,
Yeah.
shall we present it in the next class? Because I didn't complete it. I have written, but it's not complete. So I need time.
So next means this is our last day.
Shall I? It is in written form, that is not in type. So shall I read it?
Yeah, it's okay. What's your subject?
English. Oh,
Okay, you have something written down now?
yeah.
And quickly we will have a look at it.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Shall I read it from the specific objective
All right.
or
Read the objectives.
subject?
Yes, please.
Okay. The subject is English language, lesson unit, past continuous, competency to use English grammar for the purpose of accurate and effective communication. Competency 0.1, construct simple sentences. So, integrated skills, 4 skills: listening, not listening, writing, speaking, and reading. So the learning teaching materials I didn't. I'll read from specific objectives. At the end of the lesson, students able to form the verbs in past continuous. Construct simple sentences using past continuous. Describe picture using past continuous. Use past continuous in their communication. These are the specific objectives. And the stage 1, teacher displays an activity on whiteboard. It's in Annex 1. It's something like verb. Teacher will provide verbs and they have to add ing. So add ing to the given verbs. That is the activity. It will be like a warm-up activity.
Actually, it's a recalling prior knowledge.
Yes. First of all, we have to recall, no, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. After that, introduce the lesson. The teacher leads a discussion on the formula for the past continuous and the verb formation. So teacher will explain the helping verb which they have used in past continuous. That is, for the singular nouns, they will use was with verb plus ing, and for the plural nouns, they will use verb plus ing. And introduce the structure for the positive statements. That is subject plus helping verb plus main verb plus object. Example, it was eating its food yesterday, this time.
Mm.
They were doing their homework yesterday.
Yeah.
Right. So expected answer for the next one. Eating, putting, that means I have given them, that means to double the consonant, like that, to check how they have used the rules when they are adding ing. So
Okay.
I given that activity. And stage 2, teacher gets the students in pair and play a game. Mime and guess cards will be provided. One should act and the other one has to find out. Reply in past continuous.
Mm.
Next one, ask students to do the activity which is in their workbook, page number 56. Get the students to present their answer. And next one, teacher leads a furthermore discussion on the structure, positive and negative.
Yeah.
Explain the formula used for the negative statements. Subject plus verb was or else were plus not plus verb plus ing plus object.
Mm.
And expect the answers for the NX2 and activity 3. Stage 3, get the students to do the activity in their workbook, page number 57. And let the students to present their answer to the class. Get the students to describe a picture. So in this stage, they will describe a picture. So using the past continuous. Get the students to present their answer to the class. Stage 4, teacher recall the overall lesson and have a small discussion what we have learned today. Ask them to talk what they were doing yesterday, last week, last month. So they have to use that means use past continuous in their communication. And assessment, convert these sentences in present continuous. Sorry, present continuous to past continuous.
Okay. Now here, Fatima, Safana, it's all good. Your attempts are good, but I couldn't see the lesson format. But in your discussion, what is actually that you have to actually take into consideration and redo is this. Now
Yes.
you're teaching them simple past, your engagement activity is ideal. Okay? Because the ing form verb rules, right? Cut, always you add ing, but sometimes you have to double the last final letter and all that. So if there is e at the end, you cut e and add ing, like that you can recall, get them to recall. So that's an ideal one. But I'm not sure whether it's all right to get them to mime it and say it in past simple. No, past continuous. Because miming is, it's happening right now. So it is for present continuous only. You can't tell your students, this happened yesterday and all that. So it's not a very good technique for past continuous, but miming is for present continuous. Similarly, now you said you want them to actually write second one also. You said, what's the, after miming, what's the activity you said? Picture description.
Yeah.
That is totally wrong. Picture description is done in present continuous.
Present
Okay.
continuous.
So
But
you can't get them to write a picture description in present past continuous.
Madam,
Sorry.
you can break the question like this, no, ma'am. Can you explain what were they doing?
No,
If
we have literature, no, Putta. what were they doing කියලා කියන picture description එකක් දෙන්නවට වැඩි එමනම් මේමයි කරන්න ඕනේ. I was to explain. You have to actually give the heading of first part of it, right? When
Oh.
my mom actually walked, when my mom came, when my mom came,
Okay.
right? When our mom came home, come up. And the pictures දෙනවා individual. My sister was reading a book. I was watching TV. My father was washing the car. Like that. අර පාට එක දෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒතර what were we doing when my mother came home? ඒතර when my mother came home, right? අන්න pictures දෙනවා. Then they have to read the whole thing. Otherwise, picture description is for present continuous. Okay?
Yeah. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So apart from that, I can agree to what you said. Okay, but better if I could see your lesson plan. But anyway, good job. Let me actually give you, I have to go to reactions, no? A clap for the work done. You can see the claps, okay? Virtual clap, okay? So that was Safana's group. So that was also English. I really would like to quickly see some other subject, a lesson plan written on some other subject. There are others, no?
Yes, ma'am, but we got to make a lesson
Can you
plan
speak
for
up?
English subject.
Can't hear. Can you speak up,
Ma'am,
please?
we got to make the lesson plan for English subject.
No other subjects.
No, both we are doing
All are English teachers then.
teaching. Yes, ma'am.
All are English teachers.
I
Excuse me,
don't know
ma'am.
about others, but both we are doing English teaching.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I wrote a lesson plan for mathematics subject.
Uh-huh. This is Situmi. Your subject is mathematics.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I get you to actually share it with us and explain?
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, I will share it. You.
Okay. Did you share?
Yes, ma'am.
Share means you put it into the chat. Eh, mother?
Yes, ma'am. Chat box.
Situmi. Hari, you all can see lesson plan 7C mathematics. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Screen has here.
Yeah, can you explain it quickly? Because I want to actually finish this quickly because I have a small topic to discuss today that is on learning teaching materials. And then do a recap on what we have done so you can be prepared for the exam, right? So, right. Quickly go.
The grade is grade 7. Subject is mathematics. Competency makes decisions by investigating the relationships between various angles. Competency level analyzes angles through static and dynamic concepts. Time 40 minutes. Learning teacher in materials. Activity sheet. Angles. Annex 1. Then activity, the dynamic or statics nature of an angle, Annex 2.
Exercise 9.2 Annex 3. Specific objectives. At the end of the lesson, students will be able to identify and name the vertex and the arms of an angle correctly. State that the static angles are angles with no changes of magnitude. The third one, state that the dynamic angles are angles with a change of magnitude when moving one or both arms. Next one, accept that the angles in environment can be divided into two main parts according to its nature. Work cooperatively in groups. The last one, draw an angle and name its vertex and arms. Learning
Okay.
teaching process.
I'm actually very happy with your specific objectives. Are you a teacher?
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you teach?
I'm teaching in a government school from National
So
College.
you are a kind of a diploma holder?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, that actually I can see. Okay, then
Learning teaching process. Stage 1, 5 minutes. The teacher displays activity sheet angles on the blackboard. Annex 1. Then gets a volunteer to come to the board and fill in the blanks in the activity sheet and complete the next question in the given activity sheet. So in the discussion box, the teacher leads a discussion on the definition of an angle and parts of an angle. So these are their previous knowledge. In grade 6, students know about an angles and how to name their vertex and arms. So these are the
okay, very
expected
good.
answers.
Hmm.
In the stage 2, a teacher gets students to form groups and gets students to do activity, the dynamic or statics nature of an angle. Then gets students to present their answers to the class. In the discussion box, teacher leads a discussion on the dynamic or statics nature of an angle. So angles can be divided into two main parts according to their nature, statics and dynamic. So static angles means the no changes of magnitude, and dynamic angles, the angles with change of magnitudes when moving their arms. So these are the expected answers. In the activity sheet, I have given 2 columns to fill. In the third stage, the teacher.
Very good.
This is the activity.
Hmm.
I get students to in the stage 3 gets students to do the exercise 9.1. It is in the textbook, their textbook. So after that, get volunteers to present their answers to the class. Assessment criteria. Define the nature of dynamic and static angles. Give examples for dynamic and static angles.
These are the annexes, no?
Yes, ma'am.
I actually can be very happy with your lesson plan. Here also now exercise 9.1, as you have given titles here, make sure that this title depicts what is in the activity here. Okay. Other than that, this is very well done. Hope that you were referring to the teachers' guides and textbooks and all that in preparing this lesson plan. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's very good work, your Sitmini, right?
Situmi.
Situmi.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Situmi, it's very good job. And is there any other group now? There is another English lesson kila kiwa. Do you want me to actually, do you want my feedback for that English lesson? or we can skip that. But I want them to talk because hello, there's another English lesson. So you wanted to present it. Do you really still want to actually get my feedback, or we can stop now?
Excuse me, madam. They have
Yeah.
mentioned that they are in the funeral now. In the chat box, they have sent a message.
Sorry?
In the chat box, there is a message that they are in the funeral.
You have sent a message in and Sulochana, I and Sanji Priyanka are at the funeral now. All right, okay, that's no problem. I understand. Okay, we'll forget that message, madam. I'm Sulochana. I and Sanji Priyanka are at the funeral now. The funeral? Whose funeral? The. Do you know anybody? Is it family member of somebody or what? The funeral? Okay. Then we can actually, I have another topic actually to cover. So are you all listening? Am I audible? So if so, quickly
Yes, ma'am.
now I have to tell you, we have to fix a date for what we missed last time. We could do it now. Are you listening?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Ma'am, we can listen, but you are lagging, I think.
Are you there? Yeah.
Yes, we are here.
Yeah, it's connection issue of I don't know why. All right. Now I'm talking to you about your assignment and your final exam. So final exam may be in January. Okay? Yes, yes. Why? It's better to
Nothing.
finish it when
No.
ඕනයිති පස්සට දාත හැකි. But you have to have your knowledge fresh in your mind. Am I right?
Mm.
So you want it in February? When
Guys?
you want it?
No, I'm asking from the guys who
The
are in
others.
the
Yeah. So anyway, you discuss it with the campus. Once this is done, I think month's time is more than enough for you to go through your notes. Then everything is fresh in your mind. Otherwise, what will happen is you get everything mixed up. What is done for educational technology and some other subject by some other lecturer, they all get mixed up. And you will find it very difficult, my opinion. But it's up to the campus and you all decide. But my intention is to get you to sit for your final examination in mid-January. So let's see whether you all can discuss and decide, okay? But I think next week itself, I have to get you to do your presentation on lesson plan, and you have to, as you did today, individually you all have to do. And that is actually your second assignment. So I will send you a written document, black and white, what you're supposed to do. And duration and everything. So you can be very well prepared, and you actually have to present it very confidently also, because it's a speaking assignment. So I will actually see whether you're fluent or not. Fluent doesn't mean that you have to speak Queen's English, but you can be very well prepared, okay? Very well prepared, because it's prepared now. So lesson plan nicely written, and you are very well prepared, and you are presenting it without any fillers or anything. That is the expectation. I will actually send you a written assignment task by tomorrow or day after. So you can actually be prepared next week itself. I think you have to finish it, Kerala. So that you know. So what are the areas I have covered? So you have to actually read everything and be prepared. I have covered the terminology in educational technology, methodology, approaches, methods, and techniques. Then I discussed two main approaches as student-centered and teacher-centered, and the learning theories as constructivism and behaviorism. So that is one big component covered, right? You should be able to discuss student-centered and teacher-centered, actually at least referring to 10 main criteria. 10 main criteria, okay? And then we discuss methods. Under methods, what are the actually teacher-centered methods? Lecture method and demonstration method. So in the lecture method, you can see all teacher-centered approach qualities. But I spoke to you about how to make a lecture method more actually student-centered. How can you actually add elements to make lecture method more effective? Rather than talking about all lecture method features, they are all teacher-centered methods, features. So how to actually make it more kind of effective? Okay, we discuss. And then demonstration method. When you are doing a demonstration, what are the actually concerns that you should have? Okay, everybody should see safety measures and all that we discuss. And then we discuss scientific method, flipped method, project method, discussion method, like that. So you can read your notes and be prepared. Make sure that you have all the materials with you. Okay. And listen to the recording, and those who actually join late, they were not there for the first few. They have to actually listen to the recordings very carefully and get hold of the lecture notes as well. And then make your own notes as well. And then we discuss some techniques. Under techniques, we discuss grouping as a technique, questioning as a technique, brainstorming as a technique, storytelling as a technique. We have discussed. Then some other techniques also, but the mainly we discuss grouping, questioning, storytelling, brainstorming as techniques, okay? And then we discuss the models of teaching. We discuss the PPP model and we discuss the 5E model of teaching. Am I right or wrong?
No, ma'am, correct.
Yeah. And then today I'm going to discuss some other component into that. That component is learning teaching materials. Learning teaching materials. So let me actually open my document. Right. And there, I want to actually show you something before that. Learning teaching material, that is hardware and software. Can you see, is it being shared or?
No, ma'am.
Not
No,
yet.
ma'am, we can't see.
Now it's being shared, right?
No.
No, your screen
Yes,
sharing,
yes,
Kelena.
yes.
Yes, no?
Oh.
Right. So I have to actually enlarge it a bit. Okay. Here. Hardware and software approach in educational technology. So educational technology means everything related to learning teaching process is educational technology. So by heart your definitions on educational technology, right? So we have two approaches, hardware approach and software approach. If we take the hardware approach, you will see the difference. Hardware approach has its origin in physical science and applied engineering. It refers to the application of the principles of physical sciences and engineering technology in the development of electromechanical equipment used for instructional purposes. It tries to adopt product-oriented approach. It helps better communication of educational purposes. It makes teaching effective by mechanizing the teaching learning process. It increases the efficiency of educational means and reduces the cost of education. It comprises charts, models, slides, film strips, audio cassettes, sophisticated equipment, gadgets like television, film projectors, tape recorders, record players, videos, teaching machines, and computers. Charts, models, slides, okay, film strips. Hardware technology is concerned with production and utilization of audio, visual aid material, sophisticated instruments, and mass media for helping teachers and learners to achieve better results. Hardware is of no use without a suitable software that governs its working. It needs the services of software technology for its functioning. Hardware is prepared by assembling different gadgets. The same hardware can be used in different fields like, right? Now you know hardware, and what is this software then? Hardware is all about what? All these learning teaching aids we prepare. Charts, maps, visual aids, audio visual aids used in education. That is hardware approach. But hardware actually has its own advantages. If you record a lesson, you can use it over and over. That is what Apex doing. Those who are absent, they can actually access the video. They can learn. That is hardware approach in education. As teachers also, you walk into the classroom. You have maps, you have charts, you have audios to show them, get them to listen to. You can show them videos. You can use flip method like that. That is all hardware approach. So in simple terms, hardware is here utilization of audio visual aid materials, sophisticated instruments, and mass media for helping teachers and learners to achieve better results. Are you listening?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. We are listening.
Yeah. But then again, they say hardware is of no use without a suitable software that governs its working. It needs the services of software technology for its functioning. What is this software then? Let's look at the second column. The origin of software approach is in the behavioral science and its allied aspects concerning the psychology of learning. It refers to the application of teaching learning principles to direct and deliberate shaping of behavior. It tries to adopt a process-oriented approach. It
Excuse me,
contributes
ma'am.
to increase the efficiency of teachers as well as learners. However, it lags behind in reducing the cost of education. It comprises modern principles and theory of teaching, models of teaching, theory of instruction, theory of teacher behavior, and principles of program learning. Software technology tries to exploit the psychology of learning for production and utilization of software techniques. Software approach makes the hardware functional. Silverman termed educational technology as constructive educational technology. It concentrates on analysis, selection, and construction of whatever is necessary to meet only educational requirements. So now what is this software all about? What we have been discussing all throughout in this module, was it hardware or software approach? Was it hardware or software approach? Look at this. It comprises modern principles and theory of teaching, models of teaching, theory of instruction, theory of teacher behavior, and principles of program learning. So we have been discussing software or hardware.
Software.
Yeah.
Software approach to teaching. But that software approach can be actually made more effective with the use of this hardware approach. That is, it comprises charts, models, slides, film strips, audio cassettes, sophisticated equipment, gadgets like television, film projects, tape recorders. They are all termed as here hardware technology is concerned with production and utilization of audio visual aid material, sophisticated instruments and mass media. So audio visual aid materials. So you can see the difference. Am I right?
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you can see this new diagram I'm showing.
Not yet, ma'am.
ඇහෙන්නේ නෑ ඔයගොල්ලන්ව.
Not
Not yet,
yet.
ma'am.
I have to share it again then. Okay, now you can see.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you can see, right? Now there are two classifications on this audio visual. Audio and visual. Audio and visual learning teaching aids. Here, classification projected and non-projected aids. You know, non-projected කිව්වහම මොනවද කියලා ඔයගලන්ට තේරෙනවනේ, projected and non-projected aids. Here, blackboard, non-projected aids. Display boards, blackboard, bulletin, panel board, magnetic board, pegboards. I'm talking about non-projected, okay? And then dimensional aids, diagrams, models, mock-ups, objects, puppets, specimens. Audio aids, radio recording, and all that. Activity aids, computer-assisted instructions, demonstrations, dramatics, experimentation, field trips, programmed instruction, teaching machines. Here you have projected aids, films, film strips, overhead projector slides, cartoons, charts, diagrams, flashcards. They are graphics, maps, photographs, pictures, and posters. That is one classification on the projected and non-projected learning teaching aids that the teacher can use in the class. Okay, we are referring to hardware approach now. You can, along with the software, you can use hardware approach as well to make the teaching learning effective. Okay, so there's another classification of audio materials, visual materials, and audio visual materials. So audio materials, you can use language laboratories, the cassettes තියනවා, radio, sound distribution systems, tape and disco recordings as audio materials. Visual materials, bulletin boards, chalkboards, charts, drawings, exhibits, film strips, flashcards, panel boards, flip books, illustrated books, magnetic boards, maps, models, pictures, posters, photographs, self-instructions, silent film slides. Audio visual, demonstrations, films, printed material with recorded sound. Now it is possible. You go to audio books are there. You can listen to a novel using the audiobook. So why don't you bring them to the classroom for your teaching and learning? That is what is asking here. You get my point. Now you all know PDF. You can get them to listen using the computer audio. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever tried this in class to facilitate learning teaching?
Not yet, ma'am.
Have you done that?
Ma'am, not yet, but we hope.
Yeah, you have to. That is what is told here. Right now, suppose if it is a poem, so you can read it to your class, you can recite it, but for a change, you can get them to, you can ask them, right, I take you to the computer lab today. and I will get you to listen to an audiobook. Everyone should use your headphones and listen to that audiobook and take down notes. It's a change. Am I right? So you have to use all these in your learning and teaching. This is combining hardware with software. Hardware is nothing when the software is not proper. Software is approaches, methods, models, techniques, and all that we discussed. So hardware is nothing without proper software. But software approach alone will not actually be more effective. To make it more effective, you can use hardware properly. That's the idea, okay? So you can actually look at these classifications. For your exam purposes, you can study them when I send them notes. But make sure there are lots of hardware approaches available for you. In this modern world, technology, that is why I told you in your lessons, you have to think of, right? Make use of them. You can actually get the computer to read it for you. That is possible. So have you ever brought this to the class? Now, I have actually seen some online schools speak, right? English language. To teach a word, they use film clips. Right? Kali kali dano, a phrase play karana. So then they get to know how to use that phrase in communication. And it's interesting because they are actually watching something. Moving pictures. It's more effective. So that is a need. Okay, now there are lots of them. But now here I will be sending all that you can read. Now we will have a look at learning teaching aids. What are its good and bad, and some some notes on learning teaching aids. Okay, so let me see. Right, okay. This is, I will not actually use because it's too much. We can't actually finish it now it's already 9. No, because of that, I think it's a big classification. I really do not want to tire you with that. Okay. So let me see. I actually prepared a small note on learning teaching aids. Hardware and software. Instructional aids. This is what I showed you yesterday. Now here, look at this. This is important. Importance of what I'm highlighting. Importance of learning teaching aids, right? You can actually take it as a question in the paper also. I will get you to first look at the classification of learning teaching aids. So you can look at the grids I showed you. Are you listening?
Yes.
Yeah. Now then after that, I may ask importance and functions of learning teaching aids. Why should we use learning teaching aids in the classroom? So audio visual teaching occupies an important place in managing teaching. First one. What is the first one? Can one of you read? Motivation. Can one of you read?
It's not visible.
Have you shared
Not
any other
visible.
slide?
Okay.
Yeah.
Today, connection is not steady. That is why it's happening, you know. Now it's being shared, right?
Yes.
Is it shared? Yeah. Now here, if audio visual aids, I will definitely ask you the classification of audio visual aids. So you can study the grid that while ago that I discussed. One of the grids you can present. And then I will ask importance and functions of teaching learning aids. Okay, we have to use them. So these are the functions of teaching learning aids. This is why that is important for us to use learning teaching aids that is hardware in the classroom. So first one is motivation. Can one of you read it?
Motivation. Audiovisual aids present the knowledge in the concrete form by attracting the attention of the students. This provides motivation and curiosity is aroused in the learning activity. The pupils listen with attention.
Yeah, definitely yes. Thank you. It's nice reading when we actually use proper learning teaching aids in the classroom. Students are motivated to learn because they can see. Now we are talking about where India and Sri Lanka are located in your geographic class. If you show them a map, you're creating a form of concrete situation for them, right? And they can see where India is located and Sri Lanka is located, how close the two countries are, and all that. So always the concrete form of attracting the attention of the student can be created with the use of audio visual aids. Because of that, the students are motivated rather than telling that zebra is of this color, it has these stripes and all that. If you show them a picture as well while explaining the zebra, so the students are motivated because the concrete situation is created. They can see a picture of the cobra. So the motivation is aroused, actually maintained, and their interest is aroused. Okay, very good. So second one, what is the use of audiovisual aids here? Can you read?
Principle of activity. When audiovisual aids are used while teaching a lesson, the pupils talk, ask questions, and discuss. This stimulates their various sense organs.
Right, okay. Principle of activity. Very good reading. When audiovisuals are used while teaching a lesson, the pupils talk, ask questions, and discuss. Stimulates their various sense organs. So various sense organs, we have 5 senses. Now they see, they can touch it, right? They can hear. If it is an audio clip, if it is a video, they can hear and see. So they are sensory organs. There are many inputs. Because of that, the sensory stimulation is there. So when sensory stimulation is there, they actually can talk, ask questions, and discuss things better. So students' principle of activity means engagement. Okay, students' engagement is increased. Very good. Then the third one, can you read that?
Clarification. The use of audiovisual aids clarifies the most difficult contents because whatever the pupils hear, they also see it with their own eyes. So the confusions are eliminated and they acquire the knowledge with precision.
Very good. When you use audiovisual aids in the classroom, it's actually very clear to them rather than just listening to the teacher's explanation. As the same example I told you, India is a bigger country, very big compared to Sri Lanka, though we are neighbors. So if you show them a map, they can see how big India is, right? So definitely it's clear.
Excuse me, madam.
Madam, I can't hear you, madam.
Madam, it's breaking again.
See or hear or listen to some materials. Okay, so audiovisual aids.
Excuse me, madam.
Then go to the next one, fourth one. Please read.
Meaningful
Huh?
experience.
Today the connection is very bad, no? It was disconnected for a while. Can you read the fourth one, dear?
Madam, the screen is not visible yet.
Hello?
The screen is not visible yet. Okay.
Now it says no that you can see it here.
Yeah, okay, madam.
Now?
Yeah, it's visible. Meaningful experience. The use of audiovisual aids makes the experiences of the pupils meaningful by seeing and touching an object. The symbolic representation of direct experience is possible by means of audiovisual aids.
Very good. So the same thing in a way, right? So when you actually use a lot of audiovisual aids in the classroom, so it's a meaningful experience. It's clear for them, right? They can actually, it promotes their engagement in the classroom activity. And it motivates them by arousing their curiosity. Right, very good. So good reading also. Read number 5.
Discouragement to cramming. By using audiovisual aids, the pupils take interest in the development of the lesson and they acquire the knowledge by doing themselves. This makes the learner learned knowledge definite and stabilized. There is no need of cramming anything.
Yeah, that is true. Now, cramming means without understanding anything, they by heart. But if you are a teacher who uses audio-visual aids in the classroom in facilitating learning, it helps them to understand and remember the lesson, right? They remember the lesson. They don't have to actually by heart something that is not understood by them. Instead, they became interested in the lesson and they will actually remember the lesson because you are showing them videos, you are showing them, you are getting them to listen to audios, you are showing them beautiful visuals and all that. You are bringing real years into the class. So they will easily remember that. So they don't have to actually cram something that they really don't understand. Okay? Yeah. Next.
Increase in vocabulary. The use of audiovisual aids increases vocabulary of the pupils because while using radio, telephone, television, and cinema, new terms are used and they acquire them.
Yeah. So it helps them to whatever the subject that you teach. It may be mathematics, it may be science, it may be language. The use of audio-visual aids in the class increases their vocabulary. It improves their vocabulary. So because of that, anyway, language is part and parcel of learning, right? Whether it's not language itself, some other subject, language is weaker. So they develop their vocabularies. So because of that, it's really good if you can actually think of your audio visual aids in the lessons, each and every lesson. Okay, next one. Good read.
Efficiency in teaching. The use of audiovisual aids causes efficiency in teaching. Teaching becomes more effective. Those minute things and difficult ideas which a pupil is unable to understand with chalk and talk are followed easily by using audiovisual aids.
Right. So because of that, efficiency of teaching is actually promoted if the teacher is in the habit of using a lot of audio visual aids in lessons, hardware and software. You will see like proper approach, methods and techniques and walking. but it should be blended with hardware that is proper use of audio visual aids. So efficiency in teaching is promoted then because both hardware and software are used. That is it. Now I really want you to look at, you have to make your own notes there. The blackboard or the whiteboard in the classroom. Blackboard or the whiteboard in the classroom. So that is also audio visual material that you use, right? Aid that you use in the class. I'm not giving you a note, but I will actually talk about it for you to very helpful in your exams. So are you ready with a pen and pencil? Are you with pen and paper to take down notes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the very common audiovisual aid or learning teaching aid that is available in the classroom, each and every classroom. If you take a very rural school with very few students and very poor school, or even you go to Royal College or Devi Balika, whatever in Colombo, a leading school, or you go to an international school, each and every classroom has this. What is it?
Projector.
The blackboard or the whiteboard.
Blackboard.
Okay, it's there. So it's very common and it's part and parcel of classroom. So if a teacher is not making effective use of that common audio visual aid or learning teaching aid available in the classroom, that teacher is not a smart teacher. That is how literature talks about using the blackboard or the whiteboard. Just because that you are showing them videos, just because that you are using the computer or the smart board. Even in the smart board, you have the board, whiteboard is there. So whiteboard is very effective, even in the age of technology, right? You have all these technological equipment and all that. They say the place of the board, blackboard or whiteboard, smart board, it has not actually lost its significance. So because of that, as teachers, you have to actually, every day when you walk into the classroom, the board is there, whether you want it or not, right? So as teachers, that you should know how to make use of it. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
The other ones, actually, you have to prepare, make arrangements for that. But without any arrangements, the board, blackboard as a whiteboard is available for you. Are you listening to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you listening to me?
Yes, ma'am, we are listening. Madam?
Oh my God.
Hello,
Yes, ma'am.
am I connected to you? Hello.
Yes, madam, can hear you now.
Right, I'm very sorry about it. I can't help it. It's windy yesterday. If it was yesterday, if it were yesterday, I couldn't do that also. Yesterday it was thundering heavily. Luckily, it's today, no thundering, but windy. So problem. So I was talking to you about this common learning teaching aid available in each and every classroom, irrespective of where the class is. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now, literature says, if you now, whether you want it or not, it's there in the class. Learning teaching aid. Okay. That is a board, blackboard, and the whiteboard. So if you're not making use of it, you're not a smart teacher. You're not a smart teacher. Even in this era of computers, we have all these gadgets and all that, but still, you can see that whiteboard or the blackboard, you can make the maximum use of it and be a smart teacher, Kiran. So because of that, when it comes to use of blackboard or whiteboard, we can talk about do's and don'ts. What do we talk about?
Do's and don'ts.
Do's and don'ts, right? So I will tell you what are the do's, what are the don'ts, right? So you can actually make a note of it quickly. Do's. Do's means what you should do with it, Kerala. Right? Everyday basis, you have to use it along with other learning teaching materials that you're using. Make sure that you use the whiteboard or the blackboard every day. Why? Your students are so used to it. Every day that they see that it's readily available in the class, they are so used to it. So you have to actually use it everyday basis because of that. Okay. So that is do's. Use the blackboard or the whiteboard every day along with other learning teaching of aids that you are going to use. Just because that you have videos or whatever, it doesn't mean that you don't have to use the whiteboard or the blackboard. So sometimes when I go for teaching practice observation that I see, they have smarter ones because of that they have actually forgotten about this. But your students are all the time looking at the blackboard and the whiteboard. So even if you're using very kind of advanced learning teaching aids, you have to make use of it. So you can put the date there. You can write the topic of the lesson and the lesson unit and all that in the whiteboard or the blackboard, right? And like that, use it on everyday basis along with other learning teaching aids. Second one, are you listening?
Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Second one, make sure that you write. Make sure that you write big letters and proper letters on the blackboard or the whiteboard. Big letters, even the back of the class should see that. The student at the back of the class should clearly see that. So, no, big letters. And you can't take it for granted. Sometimes they write half letters on the board. In the campus, you can do that. But in school setup, you can't do that. So proper, big enough letters to be written on the board. And the third one, never erase the board using your hand. Never erase the board using your hand. Right? Fourth one, never write on the board completely looking at the board. Don't completely look at the board and write. Instead, present yourself at an angle. And then half of the body is turned towards the blackboard and the whiteboard, the other half towards the class. So you have to have an angle, and then you're not completely turning towards the board in order to write on that. Next one, don't use contrasting colors. If you're writing on the blackboard, you use white chalk. If you're writing on the whiteboard, use black marker pen. Otherwise, it's useless because you write on the board, this class doesn't see it clearly, right? Use contrasting colors. So they are do's, okay? And before you leave the class, make sure that you clean the board and go. It doesn't mean the teacher herself or himself has to clean it. Instead, you can get the monitor to clean the board for the next teacher to use it, right? So that is also very important. And use proper spellings. Sinhala or English, there are spellings, no? So use proper spellings when you're writing on the board. And make sure that you don't write all over the board. Whatever you want, you start writing in the middle. That is wrong. That is not proper use of a trained teacher. A trained teacher will never do that. Instead, you have to actually mentally divide your blackboard and whiteboard. So columns are there. It's mentally divided. In the first column, you write the date and the topic and the unit and the page number and all that. So your students get used to that. Our teacher writes in this column. It's not divided, it's mentally divided. Normally, she writes the date, the topic, the unit, the activity numbers and all that there. And then the other end, you have another column. There you always write homework given. Page number 27 for homework and all that. So the students know that is how the teacher uses the blackboard and the whiteboard. And the middle column, it's a bigger one. That middle part is used to build up the lesson. But you don't have to write each and every word coming out of your mouth on the board. Instead, you write only the keywords. And you know how much that you have to write. Accordingly, you use the space. Because at the end of the lesson, the middle part of the board is the summary of the lesson. The middle part of the board is a summary of the lesson. So your students get used to it. I want to look at the middle part of the board, then I see the summary of the lesson that the teacher did today. You're not going to write everything on the board, but instead in keywords, phrases, topics, and subtopics, blah, blah. And then your students know at the end of the lesson, they look at the board. The middle part is the summary of what you did. And they want to see what homework is given. So it's in the last column. They want to see what page numbers, activities to be done in the class. They will look at the first column. They are used to it because teacher does it every day. That is the effective use of the blackboard and the smart board by the teacher. Are you okay? Are you okay? That is do's. Under do's, what you must do as a teacher in the use of the blackboard and the whiteboard. What are the don'ts? What are the don'ts? Never erase your board with your hand. Okay. Second one, don't cover the board while actually writing. Third one, never speak to the class while writing on the board. Some teachers are in the habit of doing that. They write on the board and go on explaining. Useless. Finish your writing and then explain it. Finish your writing and then explain it. Because you're not going to write each and every word on the board, it's wrong, right? So write the keyword, write the phrase, and then turn to the class and talk. Don't talk to the blackboard and talk, right? So the opposite of it, right? Don't use kind of same colors, then what you write is not prominent. And never use the blackboard and the whiteboard to display visuals. It happens in each and every class. Teachers actually show the visuals, paste the visuals on the blackboard and the whiteboard. Never do that. Never do that. Because a visual is never a replacement for the blackboard. You're going to use the blackboard and the whiteboard every day. Visuals along with the blackboard and the whiteboard. So if you actually display your visuals on the blackboard, so you're not using the blackboard that day, no? So make sure that you're not displaying your visuals on the blackboard or the whiteboard. It's wrong. So there should be a separate place or a way of displaying visuals that you use along with the blackboard or the whiteboard, right? So don't actually use blue tack and then get them to place them on the whiteboard or the blackboard. It's very wrong. Because along with those visuals that you're using the blackboard or the whiteboard, that's the idea. Okay? And make sure, it's a do's, right? Make sure all your students see the blackboard or the whiteboard easily. If it is a blackboard, sometimes the sun, right? Because of that, the blackboard shining and all that. So if it's a whiteboard, all can't do, some students, it's blocked because of something in the class. No, make sure that everybody sees the blackboard and the whiteboard. It's placed at a proper place. So when you are using the whiteboard and the blackboard in the class, you have to keep these things in mind. I have seen teachers, they're writing with green color on the whiteboard. Students don't see that. Even I have done that mistake and my students tell me. So I can't see that, okay? Don't use black or whatever. So like that, those are the things, and big letters that you have to write. Proper letter formation and word formations and all that. And then correct spellings. They are also very important. And you're not going to actually use it haphazardly, but in a very methodical manner, systematic manner only, that you're going to use the blackboard. And at the end of the day, that the students know, if I look at the middle part of the blackboard and the whiteboard, it's the summary of the lesson. So you have to know what your lesson is about, and then accordingly you think of what you are going to write and how you are going to build it up. And then you do so, and at the end of the lesson, then there's the nice summary of the book. And the students know, if I'm to actually, tell them this is homework, they have forgotten, they will look at that part column and quickly take down what they're supposed to do for homework, like that. So something like that is very important for a teacher. In the use of blackboard, whiteboard, every day they see that your students are so used to that, every day it's available whether you are prepared or not. So because of that, make sure that you use the blackboard or whiteboard on everyday basis, along with other sophisticated visual learning teaching aids. That is it. So for the examples from this unit, I may ask you, classification of learning teaching aids. Second, the importance of using learning teaching aids, motivation, clarification, right? Minimizing cramming, and all this what we discussed. And then I might ask, blackboard is a whiteboard as a visual learning teaching aid, very common in the classroom. What are the do's and don'ts related to using it? Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, the madams.
Yes, ma'am.
Madams. And sirs, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, okay. So actually, this is our last lesson. So
happy.
we have to have another day for presentation. Sorry?
Yeah, ma'am. So happy, and
Okay. Hope that you learned something, right?
yeah, ma'am, we learned a lot.
Definitely.
So I want you to do very well in your assignment and written paper both. So make sure that you actually get hold of the recording and get hold of the lecture materials, and then accordingly you are prepared and all that for your exams and your presentation. I will send you the document black and white, but you know what it is about. You have to develop a lesson plan and then talk about your lesson plan, and reflection also important there. Why you prepared your lesson plan like that? In brief, I will send you the duration and everything. So you're very well prepared. No fillers. you're actually very confidently telling, and I will get you to share the document and the video as well. You can have the video on so we can see each other. Have you seen each other, your friends?
No, ma'am.
So we would like to see each other also. So not the old teacher, but the young students, you can see each other. And we'll see.
See you, ma'am.
Sorry,
We were waiting to see you, ma'am.
I
Yes.
will also present myself, right? I will also present myself that day, and we actually want a day for that. I will be sending you the assignment in black and white, and be ready for that. And what we have done is not enough. Now you can actually think in terms of what we discussed and look for new knowledge, look for new ways, and be creative and think of your own ways of actually using different concepts, blended them in one class. That is a teacher. Now, once you actually finish your first degree, you will get into your postgraduates, right? Masters and all that. They are all research based. So research means they are based on this. Maybe, you know, for my PhD, what I did, I develop a model, teaching model. Actually, it's for subject specific model, not for all the subjects. So that is, how did I get there? So my first degree, I learned all these models of teaching methods and all that. And for my masters and all that, when I did, I gathered a lot of information. And I have my own thinking now with regard to teaching models, you know. And then we actually may apply it and do it and see whether it works. And send it as my research work and make it my research work for the higher studies. So, mindset for that, you all have to think. You have to read a lot, internet or books and all that, what the others are doing and all that. So, because of that, I think basics are this. So, you have to have that mindset, the attitude of the teacher to make use of that knowledge, not what we discuss only. Based on this is the thinking line. You can search more knowledge further, not for exam purpose, right? Exam is limited to what we discuss, but for real practice application of what you learn. That is my advice. Okay?
Yeah, ma'am, exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a terrible day with regard to this connection, actually speaking.
Yep, ma'am.
Now, when you're doing your presentations, I do not know how can I get you all very audible to me. I find it very difficult to follow you all. I don't know. But it cannot be from my end, no, because my voice is clear.
Yeah, ma'am. It happened only today, I think. All the
Sorry?
time. That much.
Okay, then we have covered the syllabus and it's your part now. So they will definitely fix. I will speak to Mr. Rishad. He will fix you a date for the presentation. And then I want a very good job from you. And then they will fix dates, most probably next year. But finish it off. Then it's easy for you. Right? When the knowledge is fresh in your mind. Otherwise, by the time that you sit for the exam, you don't know what is discussed there also in this module. Right? It's fresh in your mind. So finish it off. So one at a time. Otherwise, they fix now 3 subjects together. It's difficult for you. Now, one subject at a time, finish it off, easier for you. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, thank you very much. Then, good night.
Thank you very
you,
much,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you
Good
for
night.
joining.
Thank you so
I
much,
know you
ma'am.
all are working and it's a long day for me and for you, both of parties.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Good
Bye,
night.
good night.
Sorry.
Good night, ma'am.
Good night.